So thank you. It's an honor for me to be here with you all today. Trying to find the right words to say thank you because it's because of all of you showing up and being here that we'll be able to continue our programs of our character development program. It was a rough deployment. We all have stories as veterans, as people. Uh, just one of mine got highlighted, and I've always looked at this medal as a platform to help others. It's something that I realized is that I can still do the same job without it, but now I just have a bigger platform to do more for others. I'm I'm father of 4 kids, and people always ask me, "Were you ever afraid?" Absolutely. Every time I left overseas, I was afraid, not of dying. I made my peace with God, and I said goodbye to my family, knowing I might never see them again. But I was more fear of is losing one of my fellow service members around me, having to come home and hand a folded flag to one of their survivors, one mother, father, brother, sister, whatever it may be. But I turned that fear into awareness. I stopped wasting time. I started training them on the things that we weren't even tasked to do sometimes, just to give them more knowledge of how to survive. The other thing I did was I didn't let them get complacent. I had them focus on what was important. Even though we had gone down that road of many times, stay focused. My fear was missing a shooter in the window, an IED in the road, something I couldn't control. War is chaos and hell, but I knew that there was always chances of that. And if I had to hand that folded flag to someone, I wanted to do it knowing that I did my best. And that's the same thing that I encourage everyone that I meet in my life. Do your best at everything you do every single day. Every day I wake up and I breathe air into my lungs and I open my eyes, I know that I'm blessed with another opportunity for another day in this world to make a difference, to better my life and better others around me. But like I said, many of you will maybe never meet some of the kids that this program affects. Hopefully you will one day. Hopefully they're the good citizens in the country that while you're traveling, while they're here in California, that you're able to meet some of them and say, oh yeah, I learned that in my school. Because we as parents, we know that K through 12, sometimes the teachers spend more time with our kids than we get to. And we not only rely on them to teach them reading, writing, arithmetic, but teach them about life, teach them about what's important, values, these 6 pillars up here on the wall, being a good citizen. And that's what's important is every good citizen provides to the cloth of our nation. The other thing I want to share with you is I have a good outlook on life. I realize I could have got killed by those gunshot wounds. Grenade could have took me. I had a heart attack last year in February. All these things keep happening, and I keep looking at them as another opportunity to say, hey, do more. Before that end day does come, you have the opportunity to do more. Because that's all we do in this life is what we leave behind. What we make makes a living. What we leave makes a life. And the hardest part was my family. I had a job I loved. We got to blow stuff up, shoot stuff, hang out with the guys, lift weights. And sometimes we weren't in danger. But our families never knew that. They were always worried about us, our friends and family. But I knew that the burden was always more on them for the worry. And so after I got injured, my wife, uh, what happens is rear detachment, the ones that are back at the base, they notify the family if they're local. They'll go to your house and knock on the door. And if you're killed in action, they'll show up in a dress uniform. If you're wounded in action, they'll come in the fatigues. Well, it was Memorial Day that year in 2008. And she got the knock at the door. My mother-in-law would come in sometimes from California to help with the kids. And it was early in the morning, Memorial Day. The kids were home from school. And she heard the knock at the door. She looked at the door. She looked through the peephole. And the only thing she saw was the Ranger tan beret. She didn't even look at the uniform. And she pushed away and she backed away. Said, Mom, send the kids upstairs. You're going to have to get the door. And she swears it was the worst day of her life. And I said, honey, it wasn't my best day either. And I always try to keep it in perspective that may be bad, but we're always going to see brighter days as long as you're alive. And I got to Germany. 2 days, day and a half later, I'm in Germany. I'm waking up. They sedated me pretty heavily. And I wake up in Germany and I'm getting the opportunity to call home. Well, knowing that the notification process has already happened and they're going to tell her the best of what they can, of what they understand happened to me. I'm thinking about what I'm going to tell her. So I pick up the phone, I call home, and I said, honey, I'm in Germany. I got shot through both my upper thighs, and I lost my right hand at the wrist. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And she's not saying anything. And so my hamster starts running as fast as he can up there on the little wheel. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? I said, the good news is the junk's still there. She started talking right away. But it's the only thing I can tell her. Light the mood. It's not easy. It is easy when you have friends and when you have family, and that's the beauty of my life now. I share my time with everybody. It's difficult at times, because every time I give time to one thing, I take away from another, and I get to tell the stories to these kids that we get the opportunity to come in, share these programs, free curriculum for the teachers to share about these values through Medal of Honor recipient stories and through our citizen honors stories. That the only way we can provide them is because of people like you. Because people like you give a little bit of their time, give a little bit of their money, so we can focus on our future and have that impact. Sorry, I lost a lot of blood during that injury, and they had to give me a transfusion. I didn't used to get this emotional. I think there was a lot of estrogen in that blood. But no, in all seriousness, though, that it's an opportunity, and that's the greatest thing that we had in this life is opportunity to make a difference in our own lives and those around us. And you guys create that. And saw some great shooting today. I got to shoot a few rounds. I don't know where you're at, but there you are. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Great gun, by the way. I hit 3 out of 4. I haven't shot in quite a while. It's a little different shooting left-handed, but you make what do with what you got. And I get to share stories and show our kids the new technology. Some of the stuff that the VA is doing, they're taking better care of our veterans than they ever have. You're still going to have some hiccups here and there, but I got a creepy skin cover. And actually, a guy came from the UK and took a mold of my left hand, tried to mirror everything, but it creeps me out. I know it's not real, and I'm not trying to hide it. I want people to see the robotics. I want these young kids to be inspired and everyone to be inspired. Hopefully somebody designs the next better thing for all of us that are unfortunate to face limb loss. But the truth is that we're all going to face adversity in our lives. No matter what age we live to, we're going to face adversity. Hopefully none of yours is as bad as some of the ones I've had to face. But the truth is you can get through it. You're never alone in this world until you truly choose to be. There's always people that will help you out, give you the shirt off their back if you're willing to ask. One of the things I tell people is that this metal, it's a small piece of metal attached to a nice blue ribbon, but it's heavy. It carries a lot of weight because it represents everyone who has served, everyone who is serving, and especially those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. But it's much more than that. It's a symbol. It's a symbol that any of us is capable of greatness. And that it's in every one of us that we get to tell these kids about, that you don't have to be given accolades. You don't even have to be given a recognition to be a hero to somebody. It can be as simple as helping them out with a difficult task, sharing the burden of the weight that they may be carrying, giving them a push up instead of a push out when they need it. And that's what we always hope to do, is to help this next generation and all generations be better citizens, to be better patriots, Not everybody gets the opportunity to serve in the military, even people who desperately want to. Sometimes they're excluded for medical reasons or whatever, but I tell people every single one that's in this country has an ability to be a patriot. Only about 1/3 of the colonists supported the American Revolution. Without their support, we wouldn't have made it out of there. And we still continue to ask for support for our military, our veterans, our families, and some of the programs that we support, because we can't do it all alone. I think Ronald Reagan said it the best, that we can't help everybody, but everybody can help someone. The other thing I want to share with you is that I can't thank you enough. You really, most people will never live until they help someone that can never repay them. And that's what you all have done here, is you come together. Year number 5. I asked a number of people, hey, is this your first year? Some people, this is their first year. Some people have come numerous years. The fact that you keep spreading the word about the good that you do here and the good that it spreads amongst our country, that's the most important thing about today. It's not about winning these trophies. I know there's going to be some winners up there, and well-deserved. You put in the time and effort to practice. Some of you need some more practice. But it's all about the camaraderie of being here together and aiming toward one goal, one mission of taking care of the programs and the youth of our country. So again, I want to thank you for coming together, continuing to support this effort, and allowing me to share a few words with you in the day with you and say thank you and gratitude for all that you've done to support us throughout these numerous years. Can't say it any better than that. Just thank you. You raised this way.